All right, y'all. So we've noticed you guys have had a lot of questions on the YouTube, and it's a lot of the same questions. So we figured we'd sit down, answer some of them, and give you a little insight into how we do what we do and why we do what we do. So a very common question we've been getting is wanting to know more about Otto, wanting to know what kind of breed he is, what kind of dog. And he's a German wire hair pointer. Allie got him and trained him on birds and ducks, general upland and retrieval work. And from there, I just kind of exposed him to iguanas. And really, it's natural talent coming out of him. I didn't do much training with the iguanas, just really brought him out in the field with me, gave him the experience, and he just has a knack for it and really picked it up on his own. We're super proud of him. Another question we commonly get is wanting to know more about the air rifle I use. A lot of people don't even know it's an air rifle. It is. It's a Russian company, Edgun, and I actually get all my air guns from Edgun West. They're the American distributor, and they're a great group of guys. Tim and Brian, they help me out big time. And this is actually my edition of the gun. This is the Python Cowboy edition. You guys can get it yourself. Go on their website, Edgun West, and the Python Cowboy edition has the upgraded air tank, the upgraded AR-15 style rail.
Squirrel.
The upgraded suppressor makes it extra quiet. It actually fits inside the AR-15 style rail here, and this gun is awesome. 30 caliber, semi-automatic. You have 8 shots before you need a reload. I keep spare magazines on me. They're really easy, quick to change, and this thing has been a total game changer for me. I've used other air guns in the past, other companies, and honestly, it does not compare. This thing stands up to the abuse I put it through, puts the iguanas down. Hell, I'm even planning on starting to use it for hogs, and it's definitely the funnest gun I have, firearms included. This thing is a blast to shoot, and definitely suggest y'all check them out. Another question I get is why I don't use the thermals or night vision more with the pythons. You know, you guys see me mostly hunting them at night, especially this time of year. You know, Florida's hot and wet. During the day, it's just too hot for them, so they're out moving at night, and that's when I'm looking for them. I'm trying to find them when they're out on the move. These snakes, they're not really scared by lights. They're not scared by people. They think they're very camouflaged, and oftentimes they are. So they're not going to spook from your light. Generally, if they see you, they're going to sit still, not move, and that allows me to get up on them and grab them. The thermal just does not work. I've helped TV shows use $500,000 thermal drones, and they couldn't pick up the snakes. It doesn't work the way you think. These snakes are cold-blooded. They're not blazing hot like these hogs or these mammals I hunt. When I use my Pulsar thermal, my Pulsar night vision, it works great for hogs, deer, everything else when I do nuisance removals. But for the snakes, it doesn't pick them up. The snakes are almost the same temperature as their ambient environment, and you know, a spotlight just works a hell of a lot better. So, you know, while I've tried the thermal and we've tried different things, I'm all up for, you know, trying new things, but it's got to work, it's got to be effective, and to me, it's just more of a gimmick using it for the snakes. But I have taken out a team of researchers who are developing a new type of camera. They actually install a special filter in a thermal imaging camera. However, it doesn't pick up heat like a normal thermal. What it does is it reads reflective properties on these different textures throughout the swamp. Pythons are the most reflective thing in the swamp. They're a lot more reflective than any of the vegetation or other animals. So this camera actually picks that up. And I took these researchers out a couple nights in the Everglades, got to see the camera and work, and it worked really, really well. It's all real preliminary, you know, it's just in the testing stages. They're hoping to get funding now, but I think that's the future. Not so much thermal, but these special I don't even know what to call them. It's way above my pay grade, but hopefully we'll see it soon. Probably the most common question I get is why I just don't shoot these snakes. People are always wondering why I'm running these things down, grabbing them, getting bit, getting pooped on when I could just shoot them. And it's a very good question. I'll tell you this right now, you won't see a professional snake hunter, you won't see a state contracted python hunter shooting any snakes. And if they did, we'd probably kind of smirk at them. It's just not the way to go about it. A, it's not the humane way. You're most likely not going to get a perfect kill shot on that snake without having control of it. And a lot of snakes are lost from people trying to shoot them because of that reason. Snakes are, you know, like gators or iguanas. You have to hit them perfectly in the brain to stop them. There is no vital shots. You could damn near blow those things in half and it's still going to swim off and be gone. I also make my living off of these skins, so I'm not trying to do extra damage or put extra holes in them. The best way to go about getting these snakes is spotting them, calmly getting up close to them, getting my hand on their tail or their head if I can. Once I have my hand on their body, they're not going anywhere. I have control of the snake. Even if it's a monster, I'm gonna have that thing kill me before I let go of it. So I know it's not going anywhere. I'm gonna tire the snake out. I know how to handle them, dance around it, let it exert its energy while I just stay nice and calm. After that snake gets a little bit tired, it's gonna stand nice and still where I can grab a control of its head, or if I want, shoot it right there in the head point blank. That's the proper way to do it, and that's the way you're gonna see professionals do it. Now I will say, if you're not comfortable with grabbing these snakes, if you're not comfortable or confident in your abilities to handle the snake, go ahead and shoot it. There's nothing wrong with it. You're better off trying to kill that python than just let it get away. Now, if you're comfortable grabbing them, that's definitely the way to go about it. It's more humane for the snake, and it's a lot funner, I'm gonna tell you right now. I'll go out there for 8 hours, 10 hours in the night, you know, before I find a snake sometimes. And I wanna make full use of it. I'm not trying to just come up on it, shoot it, and be done with it. I do this because I love these reptiles. I love snakes. I grew up handling them, having them as pets. And for me to be able to interact with a wild one right here in my home swamps is kind of like a dream come true for me. You know, it's obviously not a good thing for our native wildlife, but for me, man, it is too cool to be able to go out, capture these snakes, handle them, interact with them, and that's something I like to do. And I know most other professional snake hunters are the same way. We don't hate these snakes. We actually do this because we love them. We want to go out, hunt them, and find them and interact with them. Unfortunately, we do have to euthanize them just because of state laws, and you know, it's the only reasonable solution to nipping this in the butt, which we definitely need to do. 90 to 99% of our native wildlife has been decimated by these invasive snakes, and we just can't sit around and let this continue. So we're out here fighting the good fight, doing what we can, but we love what we do. Last but not least, we have the question of why I use the dogs to find and capture the hogs. You know, I often use firearms as well, where I'll go out, bait a job, sit in a tree, and try to shoot hogs that come in, but that's only so effective. A lot of these hogs are really smart. They get suspicious of bait. They'll smell you before they even get close. And traps just aren't successful on these hogs in these communities I work in. They've been people have tried to trap them before. They're trap smart, and you wind up just getting the little ones. So I want to go in there. I want to be as effective as possible. I want to find the big hogs, find the pregnant sows, and get them out of there. And I'm big on making use of everything, trying to get paid on the back end as well. You know, I do this full time for a living, and it's not easy. It's not easy to pay bills every month with making money off of wildlife. So I usually have to wring every dollar I can out of a situation. And oftentimes, if I go in here and catch these hogs alive, I can resell them as livestock and kind of double up my money off the job, which is a very important aspect of keeping the wildlife rescue going and keeping our conservation efforts going, because I'm not always paid for every job I do. A lot of times when I go out and catch these big snakes or these big lizards, no one's paying me. I'm just doing it because I don't want them out in the ecosystem. So you know, I got to really do what I can to get money on the back end when I can, and that's one of the ways. The dogs are also just very good at what they do. You know, I only have so many senses and so many abilities. I gotta basically get lucky by coming across a hog, or, you know, trying to bait it to me. These dogs, they can actually get on a scent, know a hog's in an area, and pinpoint to where that hog is, and then capture it, which makes my job a lot easier, especially with these really tricky hogs in these gated communities or on these golf courses. There's not a ton of hogs in these places, and if I was just to try to get them with a rifle, I could be out there every night for a week and maybe not see it. Putting the dogs in there, they're gonna locate it and they're gonna catch it, and that makes my job a lot easier. Some of these dogs we take in, you know, people can mistake them for being too aggressive, they're too hyper, or, you know, they're just not working out for the people because they get themselves a hunting breed of dog and try to make it a house dog, and don't realize these hunting dogs, they're born to go out and hunt. They need the prey to hunt and chase. They have this prey drive in them, and it's almost like torture to not use them in that way. So we take in a lot of these dogs, and it's very important we use them in the way that they were bred to be used. You know, there's the most common form of animal abuse in America is people just putting their dogs in their house and giving it basically diabetes while it sits on the couch and gets fat. And then those are the same people that tell me my dogs are too skinny. These are athletic dogs. These are how dogs are meant to look. This is how dogs are meant to live. They go out, they have a purpose, they have a job, and they love life because of it. Just like us, you know, you see depression sweeping across the country because people don't have a purpose. They sit in their house, they have a 9-to-5 that they hate, they get fat, and they're just missing that piece of their life. And dogs are the same way. They need that purpose. They need to exert that energy and to go out and catch stuff. Not every breed of dog is the same, but a lot of these breeds of dogs that people have, they don't understand that. That's what they need. And Otto's the same. These cur dogs we have are the same. Moose and these other dogs, they need to be worked. We can't just let them sit in the house, sit in the kennels, run around the property. It's not enough. It's very important these dogs get mental and physical stimulation, and people just don't understand that. To me, my favorite part of the job is using these dogs, running these dogs, and giving them this purpose. There's no better feeling to me that when I take in a dog, put in all my time and energy into it, train it, build a bond with it, and then to see it out in the field, fulfilling its purpose, doing what I need it to do, and loving its job, it's the greatest feeling in the world. And I'd much rather use my dogs, work as a team, catch a couple hogs than to go out and just shoot one. Not only is it more effective, but it's a hell of a lot more fun.